Welcome back to the channel today, guys. Now, this is actually my second attempt at doing this video because as I made a community post yesterday for you guys talking about how I made a video on 100 girlfriends, I actually decided to scrap that video and do it again right now because I didn't like how it turned out. For one, I'm still not feeling good, as you guys can probably see in my face. I'm still not feeling that great, and I was pretty damn bad in that video, so I just decided to scrap it. And I felt like I just kept repeating myself a little bit, so we're gonna do it again, baby, and we're gonna talk about, in my opinion, the funnest show of 2023, definitely this year, definitely this season, for sure. 100 Girlfriends, a show I love to death. It is gold, baby. They captured lightning in a bottle with 100 Girlfriends, and I cannot praise it enough. Did I not tell you all in my initial video earlier in the season that 100 Girlfriends was amazing? Did I not praise this show to high hell in my first video? Because it is incredible, dude. It is the perfect level of ridiculousness, over the topness, but it has heart. It has so much heart, actually, and I absolutely can't stop gushing about this show. It is one of my top 3 of this season. Spoiler, by the way, for an upcoming video. One of the top 3 of this season, easily. And I think that has everything in the world to do with the characters. We will get into Rentaro at the end. Freaking Rentaro, dude. 2 thumbs up, by the way, on him. But we'll talk about him. Now, in my initial video, I already talked about Hikari and Karane for a pretty good amount of time. So, let's go in order and talk about the girlfriends we met along this season, because all of them are freaking amazing. Let's go in order and talk about the little floof herself first. Shizuka, the most adorable member of the harem right here. Holy shit, is Shizuka adorable, dude. They knew what they were doing. And she has one of the best stories, in my opinion, where she's a very shy, introverted girl who just cannot speak with people, just does not have the courage in herself to be able to really speak with people using her own voice. So she uses a book, actually, to try to communicate with people. And I think what Rentaro did is so unbelievably thoughtful. So you see, because she can't communicate with people, she keeps away from everyone. So this man takes her book, hand writes it out, and puts it in a text-to-speech function on her phone, so she doesn't have to literally show people the book anymore to say what she wants to say. She can just have the phone literally say it for her. And that is so unbelievably thoughtful. Do you know how much effort it takes to hand write out a book? That's ridiculous, man. And just shows how thoughtful and considerate Rentaro is to her feelings, man. Hell, I'd fall for him if someone did that for me, man. And then we just get some of the funniest lines throughout the season, where she's just speaking through her phone like, yes, boss man, yes, boss man. It's so damn funny, dude. Shizuka's such a great character, and I just love her interactions with Rentaro because they're very cute. Now, let's talk about Nano. Ooh, Nano. You know, the funny thing is, guys, for years, I've always thought to myself, you know, I don't have a type. I don't have a type. You know, people are people. You like them, you don't like them. That's just how it is. I have a type. I definitely have a type. I've noticed after when I first started 100 Girlfriends, I finally came to realize I got a type, alright. Opposites attract, what can I say? I love Nano, dude. I love that she's just so down to business all the time. But every time when things get a little romantic. I'm just saying, man. Nano's got some of the best reactions. I also really like the fact that in her case, with Rentaro, when obviously they lock eyes like they do in this show and then they fall madly in love, she's the only one that flat out rejects him. Flat out tries to reject him at first because she's a no-nonsense kind of person. She's cut out everything that she feels is unnecessary in her life and that will drag her down and make her unsuccessful. And that includes things like fun and love. And I love that Rentaro recognizes that and literally tells her, okay, you can reject me, but go on one date with me. And if you have fun in that date, you have to accept that it's not nonsense and that it's a part of life. And I love the fact that on their date, slowly but surely, and I mean slowly, he's able to show her that, fun is something you need in your life. It's something that gives you a little breather from the seriousness of life. And that love is something you shouldn't push away, but accept into yourself. And I love that. Rentaro is so good at just addressing everyone's problems in the perfect way and then showing them that, it's not necessarily a problem. It's just a part of you. But you just have to accept that part. I love that. I love that, man. Again, Rentaro, we'll get into him. But I just love that he was able to show Nano that and open her heart up in a way. It was very endearing. Now let's talk about Kirisu, the mad scientist of the group, who gave us the funniest freaking episode of the show, the Kiss Zombie episode. Bro, that Shining reference had me on the floor dying. When I read the manga and when I watched the anime, they did such a damn good job, dude. Holy shit. Man, she's an interesting one because she is obsessed with drugs, actually. You heard me right, guys. Drugs, but of the medical variety. Even though she did say she wanted to try meth. Keep her away from watching Breaking Bad, guys. She might learn how to make it. But she's a lot of people's least favorite in this season, but I still like her quite a bit, especially her real form, if you get what I mean, guys, because she's someone who constantly practices drugs because I believe she wanted to join like a national medicine making team. I can't really remember that much. It's something along those lines. So she's constantly practicing in the chemistry lab alone to try to perfect a drug that will get her on that team and give her national recognition. And it's kind of sad in a way because her personality is so ecstatic, so over the top. And obviously with her appearance, because of this drug she took, which traps her body in this appearance, and she can only turn back to her real appearance. The big appearance is her real appearance, actually, guys. The small one is her altered appearance. And it's kind of sad that because of her personality, she pushed everyone away. They were all weirded out by her, and she became alone because of that. And that really affects her. And I love the fact that Rentaro just comes in and says, no, do not be ashamed of what you love. If you're worried that your drugs will scare people away or that their side effects, the Kiss Zombie incident, will destroy people's lives, I will come in and I will help you solve them together with you. Don't be afraid of who you are. Accept that and be proud of that because you do some pretty amazing things. And just Rentaro being a fucking Chad yet again, opening her eyes to just being herself. And I love that, man. Again, we'll get into Rentaro, but that was a very nice scene, actually. A very wholesome scene that I wouldn't say comes out of nowhere, but I do love quite a bit. Now, let's talk about the wildest one. The one I absolutely loved seeing people's reaction to online. Holy shit, did that make my day when I was sick, guys. Holy fuck. Hahari. Hikari's mother. That's right, guys. Rentaro not only got the daughter, he got the mother, too. That shit. Bro, if Rentaro ain't a fucking Chad before, this man graduated to a Giga Chad. Let's be real here. He bagged the daughter and the mother. I loved it when the father came in and literally told him, "What are you doing stealing both of my girls, man?" I suppose before we get more into her, though, let's talk about the situation surrounding her and Hikari herself. Because it all starts with her essentially forbidding Hikari from being with Rentaro, finding out that this man's a 5-timer, which, you know, as a freaking adult, I kind of understand that. I kind of understand where she's coming from, so I can't say it's ridiculous, because the show itself is ridiculous. Come on now. And just Rentaro and the girls trying to break into her house and rescue her to continue the harem, guys. But when you get in there, you realize everything's not as straightforward as you think it is, because Hikari is how she is because she's very deeply hurt from past instances herself, where her past lover, Hikari's father, was frankly a kid. They were kids when they were together, and he passed away very early. So at age 13, which is fucking crazy, by the way, that is extremely irresponsible, to put it bluntly, but at age 13, she decides to become pregnant and have Hikari, just so she can have something of him to remember him by, aka a daughter. That was the only legit serious moment in the show revolving around this incident and Hikari herself. And I know a lot of you were not expecting that. I saw a lot of people like, wow, this is kind of heavy actually, because it is. And she's very deeply hurt and protective of Hikari because of that. It's the only thing she has that connects her to her past, and she deeply loves Hikari. And when you think of it that way, her actions really, they're extreme, obviously, but I can't really fault her that much for being so protective. And I love the fact that Rentaro not only proves to her how much he truly loves Hikari, but in the process, she ends up falling in love with him. Hikari does. Falls in love with Rentaro. Which is obviously par for the course in this show. And I love the fact that we get a legitimately really good scene between her and Rentaro, where obviously she's in love with him now, but she cannot forget about her former love. And it's tearing her up inside, because she feels like if she loves someone else, she's gonna forget about him, that his memory's gonna fade, and that terrifies her. And Rentaro really comes in and just tells her, hey, just because you love someone else now doesn't mean your love from someone else is going to diminish. I don't want you to forget about them. You can love two people at once, which is basically the premise of this show, loving more than one person at a time. And I love the fact that he comes in and just tells her that and says, just because you love me doesn't mean your love for him is going to diminish or go away. What he's done, what he means to you, will always be there. I can never replace that. I can just love you here and now. Just Rentaro being an amazing character yet again. And just quite literally thawing her very frozen heart here. It was a legitimately heartwarming scene. I love the fact that this show can balance ridiculous over-the-topness with heartwarming scenes. You guys are going to see that a lot in this show. That's why I think this show is the definitive best harem show. I've said this before. It is the definitive best. It is. And you guys will see that even more so with season 2. I love how they introduce the other girls in this. They just give you little previews like, oh yeah, guys, we know you want more. Here's who you're getting in season 2. They literally showed everyone. They even showed someone I bet you all weren't expecting. I won't spoil, but they showed everyone. Every single person. So, keep your eye out in that final episode. They show everyone. Just pay attention. Now, let's talk about our boy, Rentaro, who is the definitive best kind of MC in my opinion. A fucking Chad. And not a Chad as in he's some big brawny dude that, oh man, I'll beat up anyone who messes with my girls. We don't need any of that fucking cringe or nothing like that. He's someone who genuinely, truly cares about everyone in the harem. And he doesn't just say it. He shows it. He lets his actions speak for him. That's what a great MC does. We don't talk the talk. We walk the walk and we show it. They don't need to tell us he's amazing like so many shows do. Like, oh, the main character's so amazing. He's so nice. Rentaro shows us why he's that way. That's what a great main character does. As I said earlier in the video, he comes in and listens to them. He listens to everyone. He addresses their problems systematically, and he helps them to overcome it. Obviously, he's there to give a helping hand, but he helps them to overcome their problems together with him. And that is what a great MC should do. This show is amazing because Rentaro is the glue that holds it all together. I'll be real. Without a main character like Rentaro, a show like this couldn't work. He is literally the reason a show like this works. Because he is an amazing main character. Point blank. Point blank, that's it. Rentaro is actually my favorite character in the show. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with that, obviously. Because they're like, oh, I like this girl. I like the other. Rentaro is amazing, guys. He is your definition of a great main character. And then, of course, we still have our two ringleaders of the harem in Karane and Hikari. Karane being your typical tsundere with, I think, definitively the cutest reactions out of everyone. I love that they try to make her the straight man in the series, but then once everything goes off the rails, like in our peeping episode, she's always like, I guess I'll go with you to make sure you don't take it too extreme, baka. And then you just have Hikari, the freaking sex fiend, essentially, who you can really tell is Hikari's daughter. Let's just say that. Like mother, like daughter, man. It's just such an amazing show, dude. I'm so happy that so many people love this show and realize just how great it is, man. I'm so happy. And I'm so happy they're just immediately doing a season 2. They know, man. They knew this show was going to be successful. Because they know what people like. They like shows like this. And I do as well. So, I would love to hear your opinion on 100 Girlfriends down below. Because it is a top 3 anime of this entire season. I don't know where in the top 3. But it is definitively top 3. So, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it down below. But until next time, guys, I hope you all have a great day, week, month, and year. And until then, deuces, have a blessed day. And just like y'all, I can't wait for season 2. So I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.